play poker as late as you want, as many nights as you want, but the next day you better be in a good mood
Show up
and
happy.
do whatever we want to do. If you're cranky and you're not participating,
You are cut
you
off.
are cut off.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, I was never in a bad mood.
Nathan.
What's up, guys? Finally back with another vlog. Joined with Stewie here, my English bulldog. It's been a crazy few weeks with everything going on. I moved into a new place, so I was busy with that, and then the COVID-19 stuff happened. So I had to close the club down temporarily. We've been closed for about 3 weeks now. So really haven't been playing at all. I've been playing online, and that's one of the things I plan to do in the interim until the club gets back up and going and I can start playing live again. I'm going to post some vlogs of my online sessions. I've been playing mostly 1-2 PLO high-low, but I also plan to play some tournaments, so I should have some vlogs of that in the meantime. It's just been crazy and horrible with everything going on. Really sending positive thoughts out to everyone there, hoping everyone stays safe and that we can get through this. I can't wait for the club to be back open and to be playing in the games again and seeing all of our members and all my friends. So before everything happened with COVID-19, we had a really good 5-5 game, 5-5 no-limit hold'em game that I was able to record some hands in for the vlog. I picked out two that I'm going to do a breakdown of and attach to this video. Just a little background first on the game. This game was huge. Everyone, I think, kind of could see the writing on the wall and knew that this was going to be our last big game for a while. So everyone bought in really big, bought in really deep, and was splashing around a lot. I believe I bought in for like 3,000, and at the point of the first hand, I had ran it up to maybe about like 4,500, so I was super deep, but everyone else was really deep too, and this was a great dynamic that resulted in some really interesting spots. So yeah, just keep that in mind when I'm going through these hands, that everyone is splashing around more than usual and playing a little bit wider than they typically did, which definitely was going through my head on these spots that I got into. So here's our first breakdown. So this first hand is super interesting. It has a dynamic in it that normally doesn't exist in most hands that I think created an interesting spot. So Blake puts on a $25 button straddle. A little bit of background: Blake is a really good player that is a regular in this 5-5 game. Really like to play with him. He's fun to have at the table, but he also puts you in some interesting spots that makes you have to really think through your hand. So he puts on the $25 straddle, and there's a few callers in front of him. However, I'm not paying attention to any of this like I should be. I can't remember what I was exactly doing that made me not pay attention in the hand like I should have, but I wasn't. And I throw in $30 thinking that I'm raising with my 2-3 of hearts because, like I said, it's a game that I want to be splashy in when I play a lot of pots. However, the straddle's on, so my bet is just a call. It then gets around to Blake, and he makes it 75 more, makes it 100 straight on top of his $25 button straddle. Everyone before me folds, and I'm in an interesting spot. I start to think, okay, did Blake just raise because he saw that I was trying to put in a raise and didn't believe me? Like, what exactly is going on here? Does he have a really strong hand when he's raising his button here? I do know that Blake is someone that likes to raise his straddles a lot, so he could be doing that with a wide range of hands. You could saw that there was 5 people that limped and thinks that it's a bunch of dead money and it's a good spot to try to raise. All this is going through my head, so I decide that my hand really is one that I should be folding or raising here. And like I said in earlier vlogs, I always take the high variance route. So I decide to raise it up and make it 400. This puts Blake in an interesting situation, and I decide that it's probably best if I start talking a little bit in this hand. So I asked Blake, hey, did you see that I was trying to raise? Like, I want you to take note of that. Like, I'm not just doing this with nothing. Of course, I really am doing it with nothing, because I feel like that helps make Blake fold more often. So he thinks about it for a little while and he folds. and I pick up the pot pre-flop. So interesting hand, some interesting dynamics that normally you don't see. I'm normally paying attention to what's going on. I normally am not just going crazy with 2-3 hearts, but this was a different game than what it normally is for us, and I wanted to make some moves and try some things out, and that's what happened in this situation. So luckily I got him to fold and was able to pick up a decent pot.
Got after 3 a.m. So
That is true.
I used to play at the Sunrose and then go watch the kids play soccer with a smile on their face.
did you have dark glasses? Or?
No, sir. I cheered mightily.
Mightily.
My wife always had the same rule. Play poker as late as you want, as many nights as you want, but the next day you better be in a good mood.
Show up
and
happy.
do whatever we want to do. If you're cranky and you're not participating,
You are cut
you
off.
are cut off.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, I was never in a bad mood.
Make their
Yeah, that was one of the stories that we both had a
Right
time.
now,
Chris?
Yeah, I'm out, dude. I'm just
100%. Fucking old. There's no real fighting.
All right, so this next hand is an interesting one. It folds around to me. I'm in a relatively early position, and I have Jack 9 of diamonds. I decide to make it 25 to go, and folds around to the cutoff. Cutoff is a pretty aggressive player, super deep stack. I have him covered, but he's pretty deep as well. We'll call him P for the rest of this video. He flats, and then Blake flats on the button as well. Everyone's deep, but I have everyone covered. Flop comes 6, 7, 8 with 2 diamonds. Really good flop for my hand, obviously, open-ended with the flush draw. I decide to check with the plan to check raise, any bet. P bets 40, kind of a small bet into the pot, and Blake raises to 100. And it gets to me, and I feel like this is a good spot to check raise, have a lot of equity, and there's obviously a lot of good turn cards for my hand, and so I decided to make it 300 to go. P flats, and Blake folds. Later I found out that Blake folded kings there, so interesting line he took with kings, but we'll find out later on that it was a good fold. The turn comes, and it is the 4 of diamonds. Really good card for my hand. I decide to check again to kind of disguise what I have there. P checks as well. So at this point I'm thinking he might have a set. Didn't like the turn card, but he has a hand that he can't really fold most rivers to. And the river comes out, and it is a offsuit king, so a really good card. I lead for 600, and he snap calls me and says, if you got the flush, you got it. I turn over my hand. It, of course, is a flush, and he slams the table and says there was nothing he could do. So the hand went really well, really good pot. The rest of the night kind of followed. Had a really good win. Ended up winning a couple thousand. Really good game. So overall, had a really good session, and glad to get to document a couple hands. Again, just want to thank everyone for following, subscribing, viewing these videos. I'm going to try to get a lot more out now that I'm home with not much to do, but it'll likely be mostly online videos. Again, everyone, please stay safe. I can't stress that enough. Don't go out unless you need to. We're going to all get through this together and be back on the felt playing in no time. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.